Hey everybody, this is Dalek44 and I'm here to bring you another long-awaited update on what's been happening on the channel and all that stuff. So as you know, ages ago I teased the second co-spin-off, Millie and Melody's Misadventures. And don't worry guys, I'm still working on that. I'm in the writing progress of it. I've actually have episode 1 written and currently working on episode 2. It's just taken me ages because of stuff that's been going on outside the website that none of you will probably care about because this is not a new video. And it's also because I'm waiting for more YouTubers to give their auditions for some of the characters. I mean, I have had some auditions and the ones I have gotten are pretty good, but I'm just waiting for auditions for other characters. And I know I haven't been uploading any second co videos that much, but that's because I've been busy with stuff outside of YouTube and making sure I get a full series of the review show. And the next review episode is coming out later this month, or hopefully early this month, along with hopefully a Halloween related episode before the month ends. And if that comes out after October, I'll probably make a joke about how I'm doing a Halloween show in November like The Simpsons did for one of their Treehouse episodes. And next year I'm going to be doing Series 9 of Dalek44's reviews. And hopefully if more people come in to do some auditions for Millie and Melody's Misadventures characters, then I can get into the editing and stop motion process for the show. And I'm happy to get Series 1 completely written out in a way so I can work on each episode throughout the year and then do the same thing next year. It's just, I found that it's getting a bit harder juggling with all these various things I'm doing on the channel, as well as my outside life with my job and family and all the other stuff that you probably don't give a shit about. And there's also the fact that I've been goddamn lazy. But hey, what can you do? And just for another quick update, I'm gonna go through the list of characters for Millie and Melody's Misadventures that are still up for grabs for auditioning. Sid Hawkins, who's obviously based off of Sid Chang from the Casa Grandes and the Loud House, so she's going to be a fun, bubbly girl who loves trying out new things and loves hanging out with Millie and Melody and Unikitty. And for Sid Hawkins, I want someone who can at least do an impression of Sid Chang from Casa Grandes, or at least come up with a voice that be sweet and bubbly just like the character. So either a replica of Sid Chang's voice or something close enough to that, that'd be fine. Lizzie, aka Elizabeth, the brain bots of the show, who's super intelligent for her age, and I don't necessarily care about how she really sounds voice-wise, but I definitely want her to have the same lisp as Lisa Loud from the Loud House does, since she's slightly based off of Lisa Loud. So any female voice would be fine for her, but I would like to have that lisp that Lisa Loud has. That would be really nice. Nikki, the tall girl of the group, who's, as I said, who's a combo of Nikki from Casa Grandes and Wendy from Gravity Falls. So some preferences I have is she can either sound like Nikki from the Casa Grandes or Wendy from Gravity Falls, or just another generic cool sounding voice. Like, she can have any voice if no one could do an impression of those two characters, but I'd like her to sound pretty cool and gnarly, and your typical cool gnarly girl, since I don't like to make all my female characters girly, since that's pretty stereotyping and old-fashioned. I'd want each of my female characters to have their own distinct personalities. So yeah, something cool and gnarly would be perfect for Nikki. Miss Simmons, the school teacher, who's a really nice lady and loves teaching the kids and wants the best in her students, but is also pretty scared of Mr. Jameson's wrath. Like, she's really scared of him shouting at her and barking orders. So So she could almost be like a nervous wreck, but super cheerful around the kids. And any voice would be perfect for her. Because I've already got the character for her down, I just need a voice that suits her character. So any voice would be fine for her so far. The rock band The Hex Girls, which form of Marceline the Vampire Queen, Luna and Sam Shades. Now we've already got someone auditioned for Sam Shades who sounds really good. So I just need voices for Luna and Marceline. Now Luna, of course, I need someone who can sound like Luna Loud, or at least close enough to that voice. And Marceline the Vampire Queen, I'd preferably like to have a voice from someone who can do a pretty good Marceline impression and who has a great singing voice as well, since obviously Marceline in Adventure Time sings. Baby Billy, the baby brother of Sid Hawkins. Now, I'm hoping to find someone who can do a pretty good baby voice, like do the similar type of voice that Lily Loud has from Grey Griffin, one of her best performances in my opinion. So anyone who can do a really good baby voice would be much appreciated. It would be really nice to have someone who can do a really nice baby voice, who can do the giggles, laughs, coos and the few words that babies can say and all that stuff. And I've recently had some new additions to the show. There's Laird, who's the nervous kid, who's obviously based off of Laird from the Casa Grandes. And I'm hoping that he can have a sort of a typical whiny sounding voice, something that's high pitched, something that's fairly similar to Laird from the Casa Grandes, or slightly similar. I just picture him having this high pitched voice that can often be pretty whiny and maybe a little nerdy, because that's the type of character he is. I've also come up with the character Darcy, who's based off of Darcy Homandala from The Loud House, of course. And for Darcy I want a voice that's lovely and sweet, like a sweet little girl, like the sweet little girl that she's intended to be, like her Loud House counterpart. And compared to her Loud House counterpart, I'm going to give Darcy a bit more screen time than her counterpart from the Loud House had in the show. So my Darcy's definitely going to have a lot more screen time than the original counterpart from the Loud House is. And two other great additions I feel to the show are Waldorf and Statler from the Muppet Show. While I was writing episode 1 and when I was close to the end of the writing process, I actually came up with the idea that Waldorf and Statler would show up at the end of, not the end, at the beginning of each episode, in between each segment for the series, and at the end of the episodes, just to give their opinions on each episode and heckle it like they would in the Muppet Show. And I just thought it would be a really fun idea to have Waldorf and Statler be like the test audience for the show while the show is still in production. And I have honestly done some impressions of Waldorf and Statler in my free time while watching compilation videos of their insults from the Muppet Show. But I want to give somebody else a chance to have a go at doing their voices, because I do, as you know, I do the voices for pretty much every male character on Second Co. And while I can do the impressions, I want to give somebody else a chance, like make the voice cast a lot bigger, since me and Boris Van Gogh pretty much carry the weight of the entire Second Co universe. So yeah, I definitely want to give more people a chance at doing voiceover work. So yeah, anyone who can do a really good Waldorf and Statler impression would be much appreciated. And I suppose now would be a good time to give you an extra update on the premise of Millie and Melody. Like, from what you've seen in the teaser for Children in Need and the pilot that came out early this year, it's going to be a show about Millie and Melody's little misadventures and how they play together and have fun together and often have Unikitty in their adventures, and how they'll often cross paths with Mr. Sim, the red guy from Second Co universe. And I also made the show, I'm making the show like a variety show, like a lot of the classic Hanna-Barbera shows, like the Huckleberry Hound show and the Yogi Bear show, and Two Stupid Dogs, or even Cow and Chicken, where some segments will have the main characters in it, like the main plot for the main characters, and then other segments would have other characters in it, like, well, the two main big segments of the show are going to be Millie and Melody's Misadventures and Star Wars Empire Escapades, which is a comedy segment starring the Galactic Empire from Star Wars, in case you didn't catch on to it yet. And this part of the show is going to be similar to Evil Con Carne from Grim and Evil, where the show focuses on Darth Vader and the Empire trying to conquer the galaxy and things just going wrong for them, or things getting sidetracked because of something else Darth Vader wants to do with his life. And some of the characters I'm definitely going to be voicing, like Darth Vader, of course, Emperor Palpatine, Grand Moff Tarkin, maybe a couple of Stormtroopers. And I also want to give other actors a chance to voice act for other characters in it, like the Grand Inquisitor from Rebels and Obi-Wan Kenobi. And as I've mentioned, I do pretty much every male voice for the second co-universe, so I want to give somebody else a chance at voicing the Grand Inquisitor. And it can either be an impression of the actor from Rebels or the actor from Obi-Wan Kenobi, since the character was played by two different actors in live action and voiceover work. Either one of those voices impressions would be really fun, or if you want to bring something different to the Grand Inquisitor, then by all means go ahead. And I also want to give people a chance to voice the Stormtroopers and the Death Troopers. Because we all know the Stormtroopers in the Star Wars trilogy have different voices compared to the Clone Troopers from the prequels. And as I said, I may voice some Stormtroopers myself, but I want to give them a variety of voices, like have different people come in and voice them. So if anybody wants to audition for Stormtroopers and multiple other characters, then by all means feel free to. And I also want different voices for all the Imperial officers, so if anyone wants to audition for the role of each Imperial officer that isn't Grand Moff Tarkin, then feel free to just bring in whatever voice you want. They can have American accents, they can have British accents, and well, they can have all sorts of accents. Just make it like the Empire is bringing in like different ethnic groups. Like we could have an American officer, a Canadian officer, a British officer, even an Australian officer would be fun. Just go wild with it and just have fun auditioning. And that's pretty much everything I've got to say for this moment in time. Just the updates on what's been going on. Millie and Melody will be coming out soon, just waiting for voice actors. Auditions are free if you want to go for the characters that haven't been taken. And I'm not lazy, it's just a combination of busy and lazy. Wait, that didn't sound right. No. No, what I meant to say was that the channel's not dead, it's just a combination of busy and lazy. Because, yeah, I've got to earn a living with a job somehow, haven't I? So, yeah, if anybody still wants to audition for Millie and Melody's Misadventures, then upload your auditions for one or more characters. Just audition for as many as you want. I'm happy for anyone to voice more than one character. So send in your auditions, share them to my channel, Simon's Cartoon Studio, and I'll be sure to get back to you ASAP. And once I have a full cast of voice actors for the characters, then the stop motion part and editing process for Millie and Melody's Misadventures can begin. So I hope you all have a great day, guys, and I'll see you in the next update. Ciao!